Hello. I usually hate getting up at 8 a.m., but not today. Why? Because today is Seattle Day. Oh boy. I've been to Seattle many times, but not since I've started this vlog, so I'm excited to show you people the fun, sights, the sounds, and the excitement of Seattle. It's so awesome. We're catching a matinee baseball game, so I had to get up at 8 just to make sure I have everything taken care of, and just I'm on the road early enough because Seattle is weird. Seattle can get really trafficy. We'll see how it is today.
For the first time, we are broadcasting from the US of A. Here at the beautiful Peace Arch Monument in Surrey, BC on one side, and Blaine, Washington on the other. Next stop, Seattle. Always thought that was an interesting art display they have behind the border. Not sure what that is. I've made it a bit of a tradition for me to stop at this gas station every time I cross the border. It's the first gas station across the border. I don't even get gas here because it's cheaper the further south you go. I just like to go in and get me some road snacks. Some cool American road snacks that you can't get in Canada. And speaking of little culture shocks, it still floors me that they have alcohol in gas stations. America. I swear, for whatever reason, the second I cross into the States, I always get the biggest culture shock. It's immediately different. Look at this cute little quaint American town of Blaine, Washington. It's a totally different vibe. Look, you got a big U.S. military plaque there. The city is got a pretty stereotypical small town USA vibe, and we're 8 blocks, not even, we're like 6 blocks from the Canadian border. It just feels so different to me. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. I've done it. I made it to Seattle, and I made it just in time to do the harbor cruise. I was really excited to do the harbor cruise for this vlog. Get some amazing views of the downtown core. I love this section of town. You got the aquarium right over there as well, which we might do on this trip. Big giant Ferris wheel off in the distance. I've never bothered with that. And there's some cool restaurants in this area. Not to mention the incredible view. I am very ashamed to say that I did not do my research on the spirit of Seattle. I should have looked it up before. You know how I like naval history and stuff like that. No idea about this one. Just getting off the boat. What on earth is the groom's room? Huh. And there's the bride's room. Is that a nautical term, or do people get married on this thing? What on earth? If you're wondering why I like Seattle,
train tracks running,
this is why.
Right in front of the waterfront. It was known as
I adore
Railroad
this city.
Avenue before it became
I'm so happy to be back. I gotta be so careful not to drop this phone into the ocean. I need like one of those Nintendo Wii hand straps.
The city was experiencing.
Here's a great view not only of the Space Needle, but also of the Edgewater Hotel. This is the famous hotel where the Beatles and also Led Zeppelin would go fishing out of the windows. Some famous rock and roll pictures of this place. The Beatles stayed here in '66 on their last tour. Cool to be going by it, and an incredible cruise ship as well.
We have cruise ships that come through.
I've just been corrected by the PA announcer, who informed me that the Beatles in fact stayed at the Edgewater in '64 and not '66. I'd like to apologize for my misinformation. It pains me greatly. So cool. The building, I don't think it is anymore, but it used to be a news organization, and I believe the globe used to be lit up and spin. Absolutely incredible. It's in the PI is what they say, and she just said on the PA that the globe was put up there in 1948.
They went
I
fully
suppose I could just
online
make you
in
guys listen to the
2009
PA announcer,
when they
but
were
I'd
creating
rather
the
sound
organization.
smart,
They
honestly.
stopped
So I'm just gonna say the
continuing
facts.
on
Take that,
and they
PA
moved out of
announcer.
this space. While you're
Got a
in the
cool
area,
old
you get to
Washington
know
State
more about the
ferry
history of the area.
heading out on the other
You
side
might
of the
have also
ship.
noticed part of Myrtle Edwards Park. Of the bay.
Another
You get
cool
to see
boat
more
off the
giant
bow of this
ships
ship,
that are
or
being
whatever the
loaded or
front is.
unloaded. But that grain, that is our #1 export by volume, that's shipped out to
Can't really read that. I'm trying to figure out what that is because it sure doesn't look like a tanker ship or anything.
Day of sailing time, about 400
But at the
nautical
same
miles
time, it
east
doesn't
of the country.
quite
So
look
we
like a
actually
passenger
export
ship.
a lot of
If
products
you know
over
what this
there,
ship
including
is,
that grain.
let me know in the
Now there is
comments.
another big industry that's making their way. That is everything.
They're just talking right now about how rainy Seattle is on a whole. I have been to Seattle 20 times in the last 3 or 4 years. I go a lot, maybe 15 times. Like I said, one of my favorite places in the entire world. I've been here like 15 times. I have seen it rain 1 time. I am like the bringer of sun. It was raining on when we were. Oh, we're going over some waves.
Right now, we're going over
I gotta
a little bit of a wave.
brace
Just
myself.
watch your step. It's gonna turn a bit.
Okay, sorry, we're going over waves. Anyway,
I've
I've seen it rain 1 time, so either I'm incredibly lucky or Seattle isn't as rainy as they say it is.
Most of the
Wow, they actually have a Washington State ferry in dry dock right now. Wonder which one that is. I guess it's not a dry dock if it's on the water, is it, Graham? I believe it's actually raised out of the water, so therefore it is a dry dock. Ha! I really like this area. We're about to go in to... I've done this cruise a few times, so I know the route pretty well. We go a little bit into that cargo ship loading center. That's really cool to see. Now anytime I get a product, I wonder if it came through here. Nah, it probably came through Vancouver's terminal, but still, one of the busiest terminals for cargo ships on the planet.
We have approached the southern end of the bay. And you can see it looks like it flew right out of a Star Wars movie or something. It's got that trimaran-shaped hull. It's a very fast vessel. Littoral combat ship means it's good for near coastal combat. It has a shallow draft. It sits only 14 feet in the water, which for a vessel that size is not very much. It has a listed top speed of 47 knots, around 55 miles an hour or so, and that's just what they tell us they can do. And it's also a modular vessel, which means it's good for anti-submarine, surface level, and anti-aircraft combat, depending on different components that they can switch in and out. So that's one of, it was just commissioned back in 2018. It's a pretty new vessel, and that's one of a number of modular vessels like that that the Navy has. They really do a little bit of everything.
Thought I'd let the PA announcer tell you about that one.
Most technologically advanced mountain range
This is
around Mount
incredible.
Rainier. That's our connection to the Duwamish River here
Going
in
into
Bay. And in the east waterway,
cargo
you see
ship
really the
terminal area.
majority of our
Oh, and we're gonna go by
container shipping.
the other
This
cute
is
little
also some
Argosy
really
Cruises
awesome
vehicle.
stuff
That
you're
one's
about
much
to
smaller than
see.
ours.
If you look off directly ahead of us,
But
on
this
both
is
sides of the
incredible.
vessel, you see the
This
massive
doesn't
white
really do
structures
justice
with
how close to
container
these
cranes.
giant
They're
vessels
some
that
of
we're
the
getting.
largest container cranes.
Wow, there's actually
The dividing line
full
between the
train
two
cars in
paints
here.
is kind of an indication
I don't know if I've
you
ever
don't
seen
wanna-
that before.
You don't want to disappear that red paint altogether. There's
That right there used to be the tallest building in Washington State. Probably the tallest building in the Pacific Northwest, not sure.
But it's also
But like, look at what surrounds it now.
the number 11 you see where our strongest ice breakers.
Dozens upon dozens of buildings taller than it, but that used to be the tallest right there. Much better view of this Washington State ferry here. Just loading up with cars. After this tour, our next
the
stop,
smokestacks are a lot smaller and all of that.
right there,
They still carried over that tradition. They were known as the Red
Safeco
Stack
Field.
Fleet.
Or it's not called
Back in
Safeco
the
Field
day.
anymore. They've just changed
And
the
that's
name.
kinda
I
how
don't
you
know what it's
identify
called now.
what
I forget.
company those tugboats belong
We're
to
going
all
to see
over
the
the area.
Mariners.
They
Oh,
all
that
have
answers
very
my question.
specific color
T-Mobile
codes.
Field. Look at that.
Now some of the barges
this phone's got a
that we
great
see
zoom.
in the bay here. First
So
of all,
excited.
the
What an
Greenland
amazing
that
couple
was
of
a
days
rail
we're gonna
barge,
have.
right?
I
It
am
had a
staying
lot of,
overnight here in Seattle.
Cargo, mostly
We're gonna be
containers
doing a
with
lot
other
more stuff
on it as
tomorrow.
well.
But I
There are a
can't
lot
wait
of
to see
other
the
types of
Mariners again.
barges,
That's gonna
and the
be
main thing
a
about a barge, the main way
blast.
you identify it, is
Also,
that it's
right
not
next to it, you got
self-propelled.
CenturyLink
Barges
Field,
don't have engines,
which
they
plays
don't
host
have
to the
propellers
Seahawks.
or rudders,
I've
they
never
can't
seen
move
the
themselves
Seahawks.
around at all. So they
That'd be
are
fun.
loaded up with goods, whatever they're designed
Maybe
to
I'll
carry,
try to
but
get
then
to
they
one
have
this
to be
year.
moved around
We'll see.
by tugboats. And that's just
going
one of the
into the
many,
cargo
many
ship
reasons
terminal
tugboats are
now.
incredibly useful. They're the workhorses of any port. They push and pull things around.
I am not paid by Argosy Cruises to say any of this, but if you're in Seattle, I highly recommend this cruise. It is such an awesome way. It's just a new way to see the downtown core. I have done this cruise. This is probably my 5th time.
Are operated also by just
I
one
love it.
person.
I just love it so
That
much.
person, that crane operator, is in a little glass box.
Yeah, so if you're in Seattle, definitely sign me to check out. I've only ever done the shorter 1-hour cruise. Let me know in the comments if you've done any of the longer ones, because I'm tempted to do one of those someday. Look at this awesome art installation in front of the Seattle Art Museum. Incredible. There's another really cool ghost ad here next to the ballpark. It's been a few different things. Most recently looks like cigars. Wonder how long that's been there. We're here at the newly rechristened T-Mobile Park for the ball game. There's also a pretty solid view here from the stadium itself. Awesome view of the skyline. Hell yeah! We are here at the ballpark with an incredible view of Seattle. Up in the poor people seats, we got our seat. We got our hot dog. It's the American dream, ladies and gentlemen. So on my tour last month, you got to see my love for BC ferries. Well, I also love stadiums. I've never been in this as T-Mobile Park, but I've been to events here a few times back when it was Safeco Field. I once saw Billy Joel here. That was unbelievable. I was down in the lower bowl of seats for that event. I've also been to one other of these games last year, and I feel like there was a second concert that I went to here, but I can't remember right now. I'll be honest with you, it's not the greatest venue for concerts. I find in arenas, when you go to arena shows, almost every seat's a good seat. When you go to a stadium show, almost every seat is a bad seat, because they put the stage right out there in the outfield. And so, even if you're in like the front row and the bottom bowl, you're in a kind of crappy seat. Unless you're in like row 3 on the floor, and even those seats aren't perfect. But every seat in this building is a good seat for baseball. Mariners. Here we go, it's time for the first pitch. I'm always amazed by how empty these stadiums are. Guess they do 81 home games a year. Oh boy, it is time. Strike! It has begun. I was a little too late to get the home run celebration, but we got one. It's 2-0 Mariners in the first inning. Woo! I'd like to point out that this delicious hot dog cost me $11. That's like 16 bucks Canadian. Not worth it. Stupid stadium food. 2 home runs in 1 inning. Awesome. Wow. I've never seen that. At least not live. It is now inning number 3, and we lead 4-1. Let's hope we can hold on to this. now 4-1 Mariners. Oh, my shutter speed makes for quite an interesting Jumbotron image. I swear that's not what it looks like in real life. 4-1. We lead them in hits 6-4. Let's hope we can keep this going. Counts loaded. Oh! He's on base. That's a hit.
Center fielder Alex Smith.
The Mariners are now beating up on the Royals 6-1, and it's only the 4th inning. And we got a runner on third. So much fun to be part of the atmosphere here at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Having an absolutely great day. Gonna have another one tomorrow. Oh, so close. 7-1. That's a run. So I've been paying attention to this series in preparation for this game. The Mariners are in either last place in their division or maybe even last place in their league. And they've lost the last 2 of this series. This is game 3. And we're up 7-1 in the 4th. Am I a lucky charm or what? Go Mariners! There's another home run for us. 8-1 Mariners. Aw, yeah. The last game I saw last year, there was only 1 home run, and now we got 3. Woohoo! Count is 0-2. 2 outs. Top of the 9th, we're up 8-2. Can we close it out here? Can we do it? This could be the last pitch of the game right here. Throwing it to caught. Got him. The game is over. We win 8-2. Again, like I said, they're in last place in their division. This is the only game of this series that they've won. I swear to God, I am a lucky charm for these Seattle Mariners. They want me in the stands. They should pay me to sit here. So we've done the Seattle Harbor cruise. We've seen the Mariners beat the absolute crap out of the Kansas City Royals. What's next to do on this Seattle trip, you may ask? But to stop at the Central. Here at the Central Saloon, which was founded back in the 19th century. Old school Seattle Saloon. Nirvana, back in the 1980s, got their start here, as well as Soundgarden. Unbelievable. Seattle is like a hotspot for rock and roll. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to visit the EMP Museum. Sorry, it's not called the EMP Museum anymore. Everything's changing names. You got T-Mobile Field now, you got Mopop, but you got Mopop, Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle here. We're going to see it tomorrow. We're going to have a whole lot of crap we're going to do tomorrow, but I'm so excited to be here in this 19th century pub. In their early days, Kurt Cobain and Chris Cornell stood on this very stage and delivered their music to an adoring Seattle public right here. So the last thing we're gonna do tonight is the historic Seattle monorail. Back in 1962, the World's Fair came to Seattle, and one of the many new innovations Seattle had in store for this World's Fair was an incredible new monorail system that would go here from the downtown core to Seattle Center, where the main part of the expo was taking place. I believe even Elvis rode this monorail in the 1962 film. It all happened at the World's Fair. But I believe those scenes that were supposed to take place here on the monorail were actually filmed elsewhere, at like sound stages in LA and stuff like that. Okay, I've took the monorail to the Seattle Center area, and this is a crossing that means a great deal to me. I don't know, for whatever reason, there's certain places in the world that give me certain emotional feelings, and this is one of them. Back when I was a kid, my family took a trip to Seattle, and just for a little day trip, and I remember going up the Space Needle, and I remember visiting the Experience Music Project Museum, which is now the Museum of Pop Culture. And I remember this exact block. I remember stopping at this McDonald's here in downtown, not really downtown Seattle, but Seattle Center. So this exact block was really my introduction to Seattle, and is what made me fall in love with this city. And I'm still in love with it. Good night, Seattle. What an awesome day this has been. Now, finally, we're seeing classic Seattle. Rainy as all hell. To end out our night tonight, we traveled over here to the Armory. I just want to thank each and every one of you here for watching tonight. I've been really excited to do a Seattle episode for a long time here, basically since I started this vlog. Like I said, I've been to Seattle many times, and I've been really excited to show you guys all my favorite sights of Seattle here, and I'm nowhere near finished. I got a lot more left that I haven't even shown you guys yet, and that's good because I'm staying here at the Green Tortoise Hostel tonight, staying overnight. So tomorrow is going to be part 2 of the Seattle adventure. Tomorrow we're going to visit the Mopop Museum of Pop Culture here in Seattle. And I have a feeling we're also going to check out the Pike Place Market, as well as perhaps the Seattle Aquarium. We'll see if we have time for that. Been a blast today. Thrilled I got back down here to Seattle. And from here in the Seattle Armory, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for watching. Check out the description for a list of all my tour dates, my upcoming tour dates here. I'm also a professional musician. If you haven't seen my vlogs up to this point, I am a musician. I write my own original tunes, and I play shows all around BC. And like I said in the description, you can find a list of all the ones I'm going to play in the future, which not only tells you if I'm going to play in your city, but also tells you where this awesome vlog is going to go in the future. So yeah, check that out. Also in the description, you can find wherever my music can be sold or streamed online. The links are all in the description. Subscribe to this video, or subscribe to this channel rather, and ring the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, which will be tomorrow and every day for the foreseeable future. Like this video if you like what you saw. Thank you so much for visiting me in this incredible Seattle adventure. So glad I came here. Part 2 tomorrow, and then next week, like I said, we got a Vancouver special coming up. Thanks so much for watching. Back with a new episode on all the fantastic adventures here in Seattle tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you again tomorrow.